A routine military exercise turned into a nightmare in the Scotland wilderness. Join Billy Graves, the Memphis Maniac Rick, and me, the Godfather of Droll James, for Dog Soldiers.
You're going to Camp Blood, ain't you?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
When I come back again,
All out of bubblegum.
start again.
Replacement call is coming from inside the house.
What time is it now, Bill?
Well, you're on Eastern
8:43.
time, James, so it's 9:43 there.
It's 8:43 here.
Oh, you're in the central part of town.
Goombas.
All right, here we go. Welcome to another edition of Slashers and Screamers. The crew's all here. So, let's hear from your panel. How's it hanging, Rick? The Memphis Menace.
It's going, man. I guess I enjoyed watching this movie. I thought it was okay.
It was fun, right?
Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, what can you really expect out of a werewolf flick? We've seen them all. I mean, how
Right.
different can they be? This is a nice little mix, though, I think. But, of course, we know who picked this movie, who picked this werewolf picture, and that would be the Godfather of Droll James. James, what is it about a creature feature that touches you way down in your plums?
It's long, hairy, and hard to carry, Bill.
We can only really
I
talk
like
this
them.
way
I
because
like
we're...
them creatures.
Oh yeah, I know you're a creature. But speaking of creatures, we're one light this week as Final Girl Casey is not with us. She will be back next week, and actually she's already sent me her movie that we're gonna watch this week for next week. I hope you love it, but I'm gonna hold on to it till the end.
Can't wait for that snooze fest.
Well, did everybody else have a hard time finding this movie to even watch?
Yeah, I had to watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, I watched it on YouTube. James, you
I
probably
on
got it.
VHS, Bill.
I bet you got it on YouTube. Do you own a VCR, James?
No.
I
I
think
do own a tape rewinder, though. But no VCR.
Oh, yeah, I remember those. You just stick it in, push it down, and it rewinds for you. That way you don't have to pay
I
that
charge-
25-cent fee at
I charge
Blockbuster
25
Video.
cents to rewind people's tapes nowadays.
Well, time is money, man. Time is money.
That's right.
And if you're
Well, it's
adding extra
money
time...
time.
Yeah.
Quickest rewinder in the West.
That's a fact. Well, James, you might not. And I'm not expecting big things out of you because I understand you're on vacation. And
That's
you've,
right, Bill.
you've
I'm
migrated
down here in
down
the
south.
cesspool of the United States. Destin, Florida.
Well, at least all the uppity cesspool people are there. I mean, you're not in Jacksonville.
That's true.
I mean, it could always be worse. You're not in Panama City.
You're in COVID Central.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jack-
God.
I swear to God, James, you come up here and give that shit to me, we're going to get sideways.
Is Destin COVID Central or just calling Florida COVID
I'm
Central?
saying Florida.
Oh.
Well, they always say about Florida that it's the opposite of the rest of the United States. Like, the further north you go, the more rednecks you find. Is that true?
Yeah, I would agree. Florida's like its own thing.
Yeah, it's got its own demographic. I mean, you go down to like St. Pete, you got some normal folk, and then you start going up north, you find more people like us. Just like they got them summer teeth. Some are there and some aren't. Well, we couldn't have a horror flick such as this, much less a horror classic, without a solid villain. You'd be hard-pressed to find an older villain in all the lore of the land than the classic werewolf. We can go as far back as we want, from the 1935 classic The Werewolf of London, or even flash forward to the more tongue-in-cheek Wolf Cop, Teen Wolf. Every era of film, every genre of film, has some sort of incarnation of this timeless urban legend, the werewolf. In this case, werewolves, James, are you going to be able to tell the tale, or do you have your your villain rundown stuffed in your suitcase back up in Nashville.
Bill, my suitcase is with me.
So you're telling
Along
me
with
that...
this villain rundown.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, I will say no mo. Give it to us.
The full name is unknown. Aliases: the Utah family, werewolves, wolfmen.
So the Utah family is basically who, without spoiling it, it's who we run into in the end, right? Some people unbeknownst to us, you know, that they are part of this family.
You know what I like to see, Bill, is the abilities.
Oh, spill them out.
Their incredible physical strength, high speed, inhuman durability, enhanced vision that's able to see in the dark for you peasants, heavy pain tolerance, regenerative healing factor, sharp fangs and claws, genius level intelligence, coordination, cunning, and weapon usage.
So you're telling me not only they're dangerous, but they got minds like steel traps.
That's right, Bill. That's what makes them so fearsome.
God damn it. How do you win? How do you win in such a situation?
Well, Bill, you gotta think like a werewolf, Bill.
I guess you do, but you know what, Rick? Go ahead and tell us about your numbers, man. Crush the numbers. Give us Rick's rundown.
Also, lots of silver. I forgot about that.
Lots of
I
silver.
don't like silver or fire, Bill.
No silver, no fire. You know that makes sense though. You know, being werewolves, being beasts. You know, in that subgenre, beasts. Fire seems like the logical thing to fight back with. Same as vampires, right? Vampires don't like fire.
They burn me off too, Bill.
Well, all right. Well, let's get Rick's rundown.
Vampires ain't standing around no campfire, Bill.
Well, I don't know. I've never met one. Go ahead, Rick.
Anyway, so we did Dog Soldiers, 2002 British action horror, directed by Neil Marshall, who also did The Descent, which one of our movies we reviewed. He also did the action film Doomsday. He did the remake of Hellboy, and he did the action-adventure film The Reckoning, which came out in 2020. This movie is 105 minutes long. It is from the UK. It is in British English. The budget was £2.3, and the box office was £5 million. I don't know the conversion. I have no clue how much it is in US dollars.
I thought you got your paychecks in pounds, Rick.
Yeah, some days, yeah, and then some days it's dollars.
Okay.
It was released on March 22nd in Brussels first, and then the UK it was May 10th of 2002. I don't know why it was released that earlier.
The
Muscles from Brussels.
Some actors that I could find stuff on. Sean Pertwee. I don't know how to say his name.
Oh, God, you butchered that. I hope he's listening.
Sergeant Harry Wells. Couldn't really find a lot he was in. It just kind of says he's an English actor, narrator, producer, extensive career in the 80s in television and cinema production. Kevin McKidd was Private Lawrence Cooper. He is a Scottish actor, actually. He is known for playing Owen Hunt in Grey's Anatomy. He's also in the movie Train Spotting. He's also been in the video games for all video game buffs. He was the voice of John Soap McTavish in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. He also played Poseidon and Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief. Emma Clensby was Megan. I literally couldn't find anything on her. Billy,
Emma Clensby, she hasn't done a lot. She's
okay.
Nothing of like crazy note.
Okay. Liam Cunningham was Captain Richard Ryan. He's Irish. He's best known for playing in the HBO series Game of Thrones. Darren Morfitt was Phil Witherspoon.
I think he's the Onion Knight, Bill.
Oh yeah, you would know. I wouldn't.
He got 3 fingers missing, 3 knuckles missing off his 3 fingers.
Well, I watched up to the point where they killed Joffrey, and then I turned it off because that's jumping the shark for me. It's not going to get any better than killing Joffrey. Go ahead, Rick. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. He was in a couple of British stuff. British movies.
James, what are you doing? Eating fucking pork rinds over there?
Yeah,
I ain't doing nothing, Bill. I was still as a cucumber.
Honestly, all the other people, I couldn't really find anything on, like Chris Robinson, who was Private Joe Kirkley, Leslie Simpson, who was Private Terry Byrne, Thomas Lockyer, or was Corporal Bruce Campbell.
Oh, shit.
Greg Conway was some camper, and some lady named Tina Landy was a female camper. So I don't know about the other people, honestly.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
sure.
we don't need to know about the people who had, spot starts or whatever, but, I mean, come on, man. You got the one guy from Grey's Anatomy, and that almost made me turn this shit off. But, it would have pissed James off. But, hey, listen, I've often said that if my dad and James agreed on anything, and I'm sure there's more than one thing, it would be that adding a werewolf to any movie automatically makes it twice as... Okay, quick, Rick, name a movie.
Lord of the Rings.
Okay, replace Sean Astin with a werewolf. Automatically better. James, name a movie.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Replace Nick Cage with a werewolf. Automatically better. It holds up. It holds up. Okay? Now,
No, Nicholas Cage is just play a werewolf, Bill, not replace him.
okay, all right. Nick Cage is a werewolf in this movie then. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. You just made it twice. You made it 3 times as good. First of all, you added a werewolf, and second, you kept Nick Cage. I'm good with it.
A real werewolf.
A real werewolf. So listen, I think this movie, I thought of it as a Scottish flick. Apparently, it's like a Scottish guy and an Irish guy, and then a bunch of British guys. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's a UK movie, so yeah, that I would say the UK in general. Yeah.
Man, when I think of
Isn't
the
it
UK,
Sir Ian McKean in this?
No, Ian McKellen is not in this.
So looking back at the early days of werewolf pictures, I feel like a lot of those movies are all the same. You got the afflicted individual, the full moon situation. Maybe he's going to try to kill those that he even loves the most under the affliction. The Last Destiny, including something made of silver. Would you say that this one does a good job of not sticking to the norms?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yes.
Because it's not like, like Teen Wolf or Silver
Well,
Bullet.
it's definitely not like Teen Wolf.
Or
It's
the
more like
Howling.
Teen Wolf than it is the Wolfman.
Yeah, it's
Don't
not.
nobody get your arms ripped off at Teen Wolf.
But yeah, I would say it doesn't follow the norm for sure. It's not like he gets bit and then, it's different.
Well, I think Dog Soldiers probably moves with the premise that we as the viewers already fully understand, and they don't really insult our intelligence by giving, the lengthy exposition. So I'm glad they didn't. I don't need to
It's a
learn.
mystery too, Bill. It's a
Well,
mystery.
yeah, of course. There's plenty of mystery. There's a little bit of drama or whatever, but they don't, like I said, they don't insult our intelligence by explaining the whole past of what a werewolf is, and that the full moon is a thing, and the silver bullets. None of that shit has to go through the exposition. They just get right into it.
We know in Scotland, Bill, werewolves are very important to their culture.
You bullshit me.
No, like they are very steeped in superstition and werewolves in Scotland.
So would you
And
say
Ireland.
that, okay, well, would you say that werewolves are the Sasquatch of Scotland and Ireland?
You might say that, Bill, but there are Sasquatches in Ireland.
Well, there might be werewolves.
There are werewolves and big feet in Ireland.
So do you really pluralize Bigfoot with big feet?
Why not?
I don't know. I mean, it's something I've often asked myself. Like, how do you
You
pluralize
ain't gonna
Bigfoot?
say, look at them big foots over there, are ya?
I might.
Look at them big feet.
Well,
Look at them big feet.
well,
Look
the
at them
time
3 big feet on that hillside.
the time
Look at them 3
saved.
big foots over there.
Shut up, James. The time saved allowed them to throw something at us that's even more wild and explosive than what we're used to. James did a good job on it. Good job.
That's right, Bill.
Well, did you know that, since you know every fucking thing, did you know that Jason Statham was sought to play Cooper instead of old bitch boy from Grey's Anatomy?
I read something about that.
You lying sack of shit. You didn't hear that.
There's several different sequels to this movie. And this movie kind of is a standalone movie. And something with the production or something, like they had trouble getting the hard copy, like the original.
Okay.
And there's not very many originals out there of this movie.
Well, that's what they get for leaving the main copy in their rewinder.
That's right.
Yeah, that's why it costs costs like a shitload to buy on DVD on Amazon.
You know what hurts my heart so much, though, Rick? The fact that we were talking to Casey and she bought this fucking thing, and now
Right.
she can't be with us tonight.
I know.
That's such a bummer. But Casey, we
Whose
do miss
fault
you.
is
We miss
that,
your
Bill?
insight. Hey, you know who else was supposed to be in this? Simon Pegg. of Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz fame.
Oh, wow.
Sir Ian McCallahan.
Nope. But I do think Simon Pegg and Jason Statham were supposed to, like, maybe not supposed to have been in the movie, but they were sought for the movie. And I think it was for the same role. Like, how big a contrast would that have been? You got Jason Statham, who's got the sourpuss face, like always playing the anti-hero. Simon Pegg kind of more of a comedic angle. I would have seen this movie with both of them. I'd have been good with it. But you know what? A lot of the movies that we've reviewed on Slashers and Screamers,
this movie regardless who's in it.
I know you. Once you saw a werewolf in that trailer, you were done.
That's right, Bill. And these are not your typical werewolves either.
Oh no, they're not typical.
Name a more scarier werewolf than these werewolves in this picture.
Okay, let me think. Jason Bateman in Teen Wolf 2.
If y'all keep bringing up Teen Wolf and comparing it to Dog Soldiers, I'm going to drive to Tennessee tonight and peek in your windows.
I expected a lot more violent of a threat than peeking in my window.
Dressed up as Jason Bateman from Teen Wolf 2 and peep in your windows.
You got short shorts like that?
I will have short shorts and hairy legs peeping in your windows.
Okay, well, I digress. The films that we've reviewed,
Have you ever
Screamers,
seen a Teen Wolf with Bell's palsy peeping in your window?
never.
Yeah, you better be quiet.
So the films that we reviewed have come with some sort of cold open, kind of an appetizer to the main course. And this time around, we've got a couple in the woods. They're all tinted up, and they're trying to have some sexy time, guys. And unlike in You're Next, we don't get the good. What we do get is the most polite of all the murderous woodland creatures who kindly uses the fucking zipper on the tent instead of ripping it to shreds. What the hell was that about? What kind of werewolf uses a fucking zipper?
What's more scary, Bill?
Yeah,
Me
I don't.
ripping your tent to shreds or unzipping it and getting you?
Ripping the
it to
tent to
shreds.
shreds, James. By
Well,
far.
you're going to expect that. If I just rip it to shreds, you know I'm going to get you.
You think
If
I'm going to go out in
unzipping,
the
you're
woods
like,
camping expecting a werewolf attack?
What is it? Bill, every time I go in the woods, I expect a werewolf attack. What are you talking about?
Well, you know, I thought it was really good timing, though, because it was right at the moment where the guy starts unzipping really slowly his girl's jeans or her weird little orange pants. And it was tandem. It was a tandem unzip. And I don't know, it didn't add anything, but I did think it was a cool little, I guess, not an effect, but just a coincidence. But we don't get to see what's attacking them, so it could have been anybody, but we do know it dragged the girl out of the tent, and, it was before the guy even reached the second knuckle.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
Yeah, pretty disappointing. But it's over pretty quickly, and we're thrown kind of back in time a whole 2 hours to what's teased as someone on the run, but turns out he's in a military test of resolve and cunning. I thought about Rick and Casey on this scene, though, especially Rick. When a guy refused to kill the dog as was ordered by the apparent leader. Rick, I do want to know, how did you feel about this scene? And before you answer, I want you to know that crying is encouraged. If you need to take a moment to write the eulogy for the dog, you may. Just give me the wink and the gun when you're ready.
I mean, it is what it is. It's a movie, but it still sucked. But even though he didn't shoot the dog, I'm glad because I thought he was going to kill it, but I'm glad that he didn't. So,
but the other guy did, and it was completely unnecessary.
I know.
He could have just let him live.
Yeah. Yeah. But
so how do you think this dog? Well, how do you think this dog felt when his captain, the man he most trusted, put that gun on him? Do you think he was terrified? This dog could have been anything.
I think what you did there, Bill.
Thank you, James. He ended up being a military bloodhound. Okay, he could have been a canine drug dog. Could have been a farm dog. He could have gotten a blue collar job and been a woofer.
Oh my god.
Get it, James? A woofer? All right, I'll move on. I can see Rick's chin.
Whatever.
So our man in training, he failed his test and was sent back to his own squad. And then there's, yet another time jump. This time 4 weeks later. So we're seeing some military exercises going on immediately. And I'm drawing some parallels to the Predator in this scene. Or at least, part of the movie.
Yeah, because these dudes are are the fucking badass Special Air Service, the SAS, that it's highly classified and the British government doesn't even acknowledge it, or does the Ministry of Defense. They don't even talk about it.
So these guys were literally supposed to be the SAS? Because I didn't catch that.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
it says they're supposed to be the Special Air Service, which is like Britain's version of like SEAL Team 6 or whatever, or Delta Force.
Well, we know very well, Rick, they don't compare to SEAL Team 6.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that's their...
Charlie Sheen would be rolling in his grave.
I'm sure he would.
Right,
So alive, Bill.
don't ever, well...
He's holding on.
He is holding on. But, if the accents weren't a dead giveaway, you can tell this film is European because, they're 10 minutes into the film having an argument over football. And, James, I do mean European football that we call soccer. I don't want to wake you up over there by saying the word football just to be disappointed when you find out it's the one where the dots are on the ball. Now, we can argue with Rick if you want to. I know Rick's a kickball fan.
Yes.
Okay, who's your favorite team in the UK, Rick?
Manchester United, hands down.
Okay,
Been a fan
well, they
since I was
fucking
6 years
suck,
old.
buddy. Okay, they fucking
They do
suck.
not. They just got the best player in the world, Cristiano Ronaldo, signed him for 2 years.
Well, you know who my number one team is? It would be the Tottenham Hotspur. All right, that's my squad.
Okay.
Shout out to my homegirl Carly for hooking me up with the fandom. All right. Did you guys catch that ludicrous display last night? See, if Casey was here, she'd be all over that. You guys never seen the IT crowd. I hate you. I had so much written out. I had so many things written out about the IT crowd, and I can't even use it because Casey's the only one that's ever seen it. Rick, you gotta promise me to watch that.
Where can I watch it?
I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. You don't even subscribe to Netflix, you fucking communist. We'll find it elsewhere. We'll find it because we've got to get you on it. It's so fucking good. But yeah, I didn't catch anybody's name in this film. I'm gonna be honest about that. I know a couple of guys' name, and that's it. And I know exiting the scene with the military exercise, the guy was just kind of naming everybody off, but it went over my head. He named out some random ass things. I think he said Bodie, Doyle, Tiger, Jewelry Man, Spoonie. I don't know these guys' names. I know Cooper's in there somewhere, and I think he's the main guy. I think he's Grey's Anatomy guy.
Yeah,
And,
Cooper's the main one.
Yeah. So he gives us the main story. He gives us like the backstory on the young couple we saw earlier while they're in the woods. And apparently that area is known for such disappearances. These guys are the elite of the elite, SAS, and there's no way they're going to meet the same fate, right? We have to go in thinking that. Like, doesn't matter what happens. These guys are the elite. Actually, no, they're not the elite. There's like one more group more elite than these guys out in the woods, and that's who they're supposed to be doing these exercises against, right? And it turns out to be the dog shooters team, right?
Yeah, he had applied for that team.
Oh my God, James, pull that microphone out of your butthole.
Making love to the microphone. God.
Dude, what?
God.
What's wrong, people? What happened? Does it sound better now?
It sounds a little bit better.
Does it sound better now?
Oh, it's so much better now. Because it couldn't have gotten worse. It definitely couldn't have gotten worse.
Well, that Cooper guy, he had applied for the SAS and failed to get in.
Right.
And now he's on the team and doing the exercises against the SAS.
It's kind of like, well.
About to break loose.
Yeah, it's kind of like how the turntables have turned.
How the tables have turned.
Well, we get kind of our first what the fuck moment when the team's around the campfire, all right? But I want to know, why is everyone but Terry so chill about having a fucking cow falling from the sky and landing in their little circle? Everybody is just so calm about this.
I don't know.
I'd be happier if they didn't pretend this happened every day.
Yeah. It may just be the, British saying keep calm and carry on. Who knows? I mean, but yeah.
Do they say that?
Pretty sure they do, yes.
Well, that's a stupid.
If I'm wrong, British listeners, sorry, but I'm pretty sure they say that.
If he's wrong, British listeners.
Put another shrimp on the bobber.
Yeah. Totally same place, James. Totally same place.
They eat beans over there in England.
We eat beans here, James. I had some tonight.
They got this thing called fish in a can.
So do we. It's called Jack Mackerel.
It's mackerel. Mackerel, Bill. They got like mackerel, smoked mackerel over there.
We've got mackerel in a can. I give it to my dogs when they got worms.
Mackerel?
Oh hell yeah! Give them a can of Jack mackerel, and those worms are out.
What good's that gonna do?
Oh, it'll give them a run, son. He'll shit out so many worms, you'll go fishing with him the next day.
The run, sons. I ate some swordfish today, Bill.
Swordfish.
And I'm going deep sea fishing tomorrow.
How deep you going?
Deep, Bill. Deep 6'9".
We talking ball deep?
I'm talking past the breaking point, Bill.
Well, I hope you come back in one piece, James. And bring me some goddamn swordfish.
At least 2 days.
You talked about having like $50 worth of fudge, and I said, "Hey, you gonna bring me some?" I got no answer on that. Did you notice that, Rick? He didn't even respond to it. He moved on to the next thing.
$70 too. He said $70.
I got you some fudge, Bill.
That's about damn.
What about me, James?
I got you some too, Rick.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Right
Rick.
down the road for me in West Mifflin. So
Peanut butter fudge.
Hey, yeah, y'all can totally hang out. Y'all are like 5 minutes away from each other.
I'm skipping a jump away, right?
Yeah, go to Kathy's Country Cupboard.
Oh God,
is that place still around?
Unfortunately.
Oh, you know about it?
Rick know about anything like that?
Because
my wife went to high school there, man.
You almost went to high school where?
So my wife went to high school there.
She sure as hell did. You told me that. You told me that. Yeah, I forgot.
Disclaimer: I'm not from here originally at all.
He's from fucking Memphis, like it's much fucking better.
It's his own little place.
You rat-faced bastard. All right, well, listen.
Menace Memphis. Rick the Menace Memphis.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and put that on your failure report there, James.
You know what makes me mad?
Do tell.
When I tell somebody I'm going to give them something special, and it's a bag of M&Ms, and they think melting in your mouth and not in your hand is not special, that makes me upset.
It upsets me on your behalf, because what other chocolate does that?
There is no other chocolate that does that.
There's not. I would consider that special, so those M&Ms that you have, you go ahead and bring those with that fudge. But listen, guys. This group didn't just happen upon a cow's body torn to shreds. It fell from the sky, all right? Were they under a cliff or something? Where an injured cow might have been walking around and just plummeted to its death? Nope, they were not. Step number one, I'm fucked up in that situation. But we get our first death out of the woods right after this, and honestly, I wasn't too broken up about it. You know, at least, I'm sorry, although we didn't see anything but the spatter of blood on the rocks, this was like immediate relief because it was the guy who killed the dog earlier. And even though we find him alive later on, it's super satisfying. Who is there in this film to hate more than, is his name Liam Cunningham? No, Liam, what's his fucking name, Rick?
It is
Liam Butterham.
No, Liam Cunningham, Captain Richard Ryan.
Oh, I did say. Okay, yeah. So he's Ryan. Is there anybody more hateable than him in this flick?
Honestly, no.
Other than the werewolves, and really, I'm on the fence about that. Well, our team of good guys making their way through the woods while, they find the bloody and gory remains of the victims of some vicious attacks. So, of course, they're going to go from, pretend bullets to some live and in-color rounds. On one of their stops, they find the last victim, the dog killer. He's a little worse for wear, but well intact. Considering he's been attacked by something that's leaving others ground in a hamburger, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
That's automatically sus.
Yeah.
Like, why is he okay? Everything else is ground up, and he's okay. So, I immediately started to suspect this guy as, more than meets the eye. Whereas you and James are less than meets. This guy's more. But one thing that came to mind is how this movie came from being an outdoor silent attack type of film to a hardcore home invasion flick once they find that cabin. More and more, I feel like this might be one big reason that, Casey liked it. She's a big home invasion chick. But, they didn't really find that cabin. They were picked up by a person in a Jeep who said, I heard gunfire, so I decided to come out and see, or something like that. Just like every person.
Just some random ass person.
Right, just like every normal person that we know who's going to just drive toward the gunfire.
Yeah, just be driving in the woods, no big deal.
So it turns out she's what, a zoologist?
Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah.
See, I don't like that either. But up to this point, they've seen what they've seen out in the woods. What?
This ain't no home invasion flick, Bill.
Part of it is they hole up in that
Once
cabin.
you find out what's really going on, who's really doing the invading?
Well, at the end of it, yeah, I mean, you're at the end of any movie, you're gonna find, oh, it was this all along. But I mean, they're holed up in that cabin and they're having to take on a fucking barrage. I think the three of us could do that. I think the three of us could fucking wear out some werewolf. Oh, Rick will just put peanut butter on his balls and they'll lick it off for him. Keep him busy.
Just like in friggin' Euro Trip.
God, I cannot forget about Okay, so like, they've seen what they've seen. Why the fuck is Cooper so goddamn skeptical about it being werewolves? He was out there. There were arms coming through the doors. What other evidence does he need? He's like, oh, I don't know about that. That was my terrible UK act. What other evidence does he need to be convinced that these are werewolves? He saw them out in the woods. He saw the claws coming through the door. They hacked something off, I think. Did they cut the wolf's arm off in the door? Or did they just stab it?
I think they stabbed it. I could be wrong though. I don't really remember.
Fuck. Well, still, he saw it. He's seen it with his own eye. And he needs more evidence that they're werewolves. There's a lot of plot holes in this, James. I'm pretty disappointed.
You gotta have a body, Bill. You gotta have a body.
You gotta have a body. All right, well, with everything this film brings in the fun, action-packed realm, like blowing up the vehicle outside the cabin, that would let me scratch my head, James. Why blow up the one sure way you have to get you out of there? Make it make sense.
What was the question?
Why did they blow up the vehicle?
Who? The werewolves?
No, the soldiers.
They're cunning, Bill.
No. I'm talking about the SAS guys. They're outside, a couple of them. They kind of get surrounded by the wolves, right? They see them out there. And before they run back in the cabin, they turn around and shoot the Jeep full of holes, making it explode, thinking that they're going to, blow up some of the wolves.
Maybe they thought they were going to blow up one of them werewolves.
Well, that's what they thought, but gosh, I mean, the wolves were so far away. I mean, it seemed like a big gamble to me.
Well, these are not SAS people. These are people they put in there for SAS fodder. So maybe they might not be too bright.
Well, no, these guys are already SAS. These guys aren't under, like, a test. Like, Cooper's already failed his test, and he got sent back to his squad. His squad is already SAS.
Okay.
Yeah. But either way.
Well, I don't know why they blowed that thing up.
Well, damn, James. I got nothing else for you then.
They thought the werewolves was going to drive into town, Bill.
Werewolves don't fucking drive.
You don't know.
They're
They
like
might.
Universe.
You ever seen Teen Wolf?
Yeah, like one time.
Right.
Now it's acceptable. Now Teen Wolf is acceptable. Well, just looking at the overall physicality of these werewolves, the director Marshall, he actually chose dancers over stuntmen in order to accentuate the otherworldly, disturbing nature of the werewolf.
Yeah, because they walk kind of funny, Bill.
Yeah, they sure do, and they were on stilts, That posed its own unique challenges making this movie, particularly because they had to wear the stilts to account for those those leg extensions. Which, of course, that made them look less graceful than, the original sketches, but it worked. The majority of the shooting was from the waist up, I think, so you didn't have to, be running ear to pocket through the woods on stilts. But, they're holed up in this cabin. You got Chippendale werewolves outside the door, probably dancing to It's Raining Men because it's just been too easy picking these guys off. Probably got their little werewolf banana hammocks on, twerking against a fence post. But speaking of implied amounts of sausage, listen, in terms of the number of entrails in a film, Dog Soldiers has got to hold the record for the most violent and horrific scene. One of the actors, I can't remember his first name, Pertwee, says the process of creating a convincing disembowelment is only slightly less unpleasant than an actual disembowelment. According to him, they filled the some kind of intestinal skin with sausage or something like that, and it must have gone bad. They had to devise a way to hold his guts together when they'd stop for lunch or whatever. So, his guts were placed in some kind of gaffer tape, a cup made of gaffer tape, which, they strapped around him so he could eat lunch with everybody. So he had to carry this around everywhere. James, you're an outdoor kind of man. Rick's a backdoor man. But James, you're an outdoor man. You ever had to rig something up to hold a man's guts in where you could both eat lunch?
I have not come across that yet, Bill.
Yet. I like your enthusiasm.
But I feel like I could do it.
I think you could, man. I feel like Aaron Gregory, an old friend of ours, would have been prime candidate for that. Rick, this guy Aaron, maybe you'll meet him one day. He's floating around there in the country somewhere.
Maybe you have met him already.
you might have. We've heard, like, when we left high school, we heard so many things about this guy that may or may not have been true. We heard that he lost numerous fingers working on a chicken farm.
Dreaded chicken gathering accident.
What is that sound, guys?
What does it sound
It's
like?
not me.
I don't know. It sounds like
someone's getting their teeth cleaned at the dentist.
yeah.
Somebody get her teeth cleaned at the dentist.
That is what he said.
Oh,
You got one of them suction things up your butt, James?
Yeah.
not yet.
Okay. Well, this Aaron Gregory guy, he I don't James, you've seen him. I haven't seen him since high school. So can you
I
put
have
some?
not seen him.
I thought you had. You saw his cousin.
No, I was supposed to go to some sort of lunch with him.
Oh,
I did not do it.
you dodged a bullet. For
I know.
tetanus. I don't know
But
what.
I have seen pictures of him. I think he does have all his fingers.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. But among all the gunfire and disembowelments and vomiting on heads, we still don't know who these werewolves are at this point. Werewolves aren't historically just werewolves. They're people among us who turn at a certain point and eventually turn back. We've got no backstory on anyone who could be these werewolves. Like, does this story not lose a little something with that detail? Like knowing something early on?
Yeah, because most werewolf movie, you find out later on or in the middle of the movie, what's going on. It doesn't reveal it early.
Yeah,
I mean, look at movies like Silver Bullet. You don't find out till way later on.
I guess that's true, and it doesn't really take away anything from that one. But of course, it's hard to compare Stephen King to, just any old body. But,
Right.
Inside this cabin, though, there's an internal struggle with Ryan and Cooper, and they know Ryan is special ops. There's something Ryan isn't telling them, and he's tight-lipped about it. So, does this go back to the original training mission where Ryan tells Cooper to kill the dog, thinking if he can kill that dog, he can kill a werewolf? You have to think.
Yeah, I would say, maybe, but
That's why he baited him, right?
If you get dodged a wrench, you can kill a werewolf.
That's right.
Yeah, he's not going to know how strong it is either or anything. So, I guess he'll find out. But
Well, the home invasion, I am going to call it the home invasion scene, James, because that's what it is. It's pretty intense. All right, we get some really good visuals of these werewolves, finally, and I'll be damned, guys, it's pretty believable. Or as believable as believing in werewolves can be. They're taking bullet damage, they're yelping in pain. James, Rick, how do y'all feel about the portrayal of what has historically been an indomitable creature? In other words, how do you feel about military guys kind of taking round two? Because they took round two. They fended them off for a while.
Kill a werewolf, it's just not easy to do.
yeah, I feel like it was, it was pretty well done. I didn't know. Did they say if it was CGI or non-CGI or?
So, I think there's a lot of things in this film that are not CGI. I think they specifically avoided CGI. But I think there are a lot of things in this film that could have been CGI and would have looked better with today's, with today's technology.
And real werewolves.
No, they're definitely not real werewolves, but they're in suits, so there's no CGI here.
Werewolves were harmed in the filming of this picture.
Well, I'm glad. But you gotta love it when a man goes out like a goddamn hero. The scene in the barn, when the one soldier, I hate myself for not knowing any of their names, but the one soldier makes a run for the barn when I want to say it's Spoons that's causing the diversion with the flare. But the guy, he gets the vehicle out. There's a werewolf in the back, and I remember he said something like, "You're behind me, aren't you?" And he turns around, pulls his knife, and dives into the back, fully prepared to fight to the death with what would eventually kill him. Guys, has there ever been a display of such testicular fortitude? That was probably one of my favorite scenes. That could have been a lot, I guess more in depth, but not knowing and not seeing the scene, I guess makes it a little more, a proper send-off, because you see him get torn to shreds. Maybe you don't have that thought about him, but jumping in the back with that knife, ready to go hand to hand with a werewolf, that was badass to me.
Yeah, he's got some huge balls to do that, because most people would have just ran away or assumed their fate and just been killed. And he's
I'm out the door.
Try and attack it.
I'm out the door immediately.
Yeah, I'm gone. There's
I feel that hot werewolf breath on my neck. I'm out.
No, I ain't trying to fight that with a knife.
Well, the real holy shit moment here is when we find out Ryan, who was the leader of the special ops group, he knew all about this, and he used the military group led by Cooper at this point. It was led by Wells before that, but he used this group as bait. Like, not to mention, he's been attacked, his wounds are healing quickly, so that means he's turning into a werewolf, and Megan is too. Megan, the chick that picked him up at the beginning.
The zoologist, yep.
She's turning as well. So, like, how big was this swerve? I mean, they give us the unexpected...
And she leaves the door. She left the door open for them to come in.
For them to come in? Yeah, they give us the expected turn of Ryan, who we already disliked from the dog scene and his overall shitty attitude. But dropping Megan on us, that was cold as ice.
Yeah, I didn't... And like I told you, off air, this was probably the first time I've seen it in a long time. I didn't remember that at all.
James, when was the first time you saw this movie?
I don't know, Bill. Let's see.
It came out in 2002.
Probably 2005.
Okay.
I don't know, I might say in 2002.
Well, I've never seen this film. When it came out, okay, there was a time lapse between 2000 and 2004 when I was in the Navy that I lost track of everything. I didn't watch any sports. I barely watched any movies if they weren't already on TV. Anything new that came out, I had no idea about it. I was in just a vacuum. So I missed this one completely. I didn't know this thing existed until you brought it up. And I think that was at the beginning of when we started prepping for this podcast. You shared a list of movies, and I think this one was on your list. Pretty pleasantly surprised, I'll say. But my favorite scene of this whole film...
Here we go. In the tunnel.
What is it?
What is going on over there, James?
What are you doing?
Nothing. A routine military experiment exercise.
It sounds like you're sneaking potato chips out of a bag, and like you're doing it for like so long that like instead of just it's
I have no idea.
Are you pulling your intestines out of your stomach?
No.
I need to know what that sound is.
I'm actually just sitting here.
You're a goddamn liar, James.
I'm not lying. I'm just sitting here.
Okay.
Is it done now?
No.
Okay.
It is now. No. Okay, it stopped.
It's gotta be me rubbing this pillow in.
It is. Like if you know that you're making that noise.
I'm not meaning to make any kind of noise.
God, that microphone's sensitive, James. All right. My favorite scene in this whole film is the hand-to-hand fight in the kitchen, though. Like, again, I get mixed up on names of the characters, but the one guy I think his name is Spoons. He's fist-fighting a fucking werewolf and is rocking his body with left and right hooks and stabs it like 20,000 times just for it to sit up and murder him against the wall. But his final words, probably the best thing that came out of this movie. I hope I give you the shits, you fucking wimp. And then he spits in his mouth before he becomes dog food. How fucking great was that line?
I thought that was pretty badass. I laughed out loud.
James, this was the moment of the film. This was like what made it great.
This is a great film.
Oh, so now what? You got that pillow over your face now?
Eating that microphone again.
Good Lord, man. What is going on?
I do not know. It sounds like Hurricane Ida is coming in the fucking door on you.
Sounds like he's got a chip bag. Sounds like he's got a chip bag for a sleeping bag.
Got that, Rick? We'll try that one over again. Sounds like he's got chips for
whatever.
A pillow in a bag.
I got chips.
Sounds
for
like
my
his
sleeping
head is
bag.
inside a chip bag.
Yes, I sleep in a chip bag.
What a finale, as Wells himself is slowly turning. And I like Wells. He cuts the gas line in the kitchen. He attempts to incendiate a lighter, which is knocked from his hand. But at the last second, he slams on the pilot, absolutely obliterating the cabin, leaving only Cooper to fend off the remaining attacks. And he's face to face with a final werewolf, but uses an item that we haven't seen since the opening cockblock scene. A silver blade of some kind, which was a gift from the girl to the guy. But, Cooper uses this thing to shoot the wolf in the face. And then boom, roll credits. Like no prolonged finish. This was just
Darth Vader in the coal.
What?
James, I'm gonna rip out your jugular. You
I
come
swear
peek.
to God, I have not moved a muscle.
You come peeking in this window. I will reach through that window and pull your eyeballs out.
I've never moved so less in my life. As I
Sitting
have
there
right
just
now, at this
petrified.
very moment.
Is this gotta be me rubbing this pillow? God. Guys, if y'all are listening to this podcast, please have the volume down.
Yes.
Because James over there humping his pillow and gosh,
It's
I've
all
never
this
wished for
werewolf
somebody
talk,
to...
Bill.
What?
It's all this werewolf talk. You got me excited.
Well, guys, let's give our final thoughts on Dog Soldier.
I guess I'll go. I
If you
was
want to watch a good werewolf picture, this is it.
all right. Anyway, I think that that it was pretty good. Like I said, for not watching it for a while, I was definitely surprised again. I mean, I thought it was alright. I mean, it was pretty good though. So
This film's got a really big cult following, like a huge cult. There are people that say this is like one of the greatest films out of the UK ever.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with this movie here.
But one of the greatest ever?
A lot of history, Bill. I think so. To come out of the UK,
There's been a lot of good shit come out of the UK, James.
name one thing
The Mr. Bean movie.
besides Elton John.
That man is a damn national treasure, isn't he?
what is it? Oh shit, I can't think. They have really good chocolate.
That is Swedish.
That's yeah. I think that's Dutch from the Netherlands. Dutch chocolate.
They have universal health care. There you go.
They sure do. They sure do. Guys,
What's that? Lindale Truffles. Where's
That's-
that from, Bill?
It's from Switzerland.
yeah. Damn, James, you know your you know your
Chocolate
snacks.
connoisseur over there. He bought the
Goddamn.
$7 in fudge. You better fucking know.
That's right. I know my chocolates and my werewolf pictures, Bill.
All that damn fudge shit.
And ne'er have
This
the two
werewolf
cross
picture's
paths
like a
until tonight.
fine Lindale Truffle.
Well, guys, I think this was a good pick. All right, we haven't done a creature feature in a while.
You damn
And
right, it's a good pick, Bill.
I think you hit it this week. I enjoyed it. I'll watch it again without the pressure of dissecting the damn thing to come on here with you assholes. But guys, Casey wasn't here with us tonight. We again wish she could have been. We do miss her, but she did leave her next pick. And that movie,
Hit us with it.
it's a
Hello?
2019 film starring
God.
Oh my God, James! It's somebody you like,
Wait a
man.
minute.
It's
I
got
didn't even hear it.
it's
The damn
well,
audio cut off.
well, I did. It didn't cut off, James.
You didn't
I was
say
about
it
to
yet.
say it. I was about to
Oh, you
say it.
haven't said it yet?
I haven't said it yet.
Oh. All right.
Man, you're complaining before you even hear it.
I thought you said it, and I was like, 2019.
It is a 2019 film from director Alexander Aja, who also did a movie that we did a while back called Haute Tension, or High Tension.
Great.
This movie stars Barry Pepper. Do I have your
like
attention
Barry
yet,
Pepper,
James?
Bill.
I know you like Barry Pepper.
I like Barry Pepper.
Well, this movie is called Crawl. A young woman, while attempting to save her father during a Category 5 hurricane, which is terrible timing, finds herself trapped in a flooding house and must fight for her life against alligators. James, if you can't get down with this film, I don't know what to tell you, bro.
I've seen some of this movie, Bill.
I've never seen it. I've heard about it. I've never seen it.
I have put
Billy, can you
off-
tell us where it's available?
I got no fucking clue.
I think it's on Netflix.
Let me look.
A thought, James. This is the first week where you didn't pretend to watch the wrong movie.
Well, Bill, it's because it's my pick.
It wouldn't have made sense, would it?
Hey, so it's on Hulu, Amazon Prime, Epic Now, and something called Philo.
You just made that up.
And then Sling TV. So pretty much Hulu. If you have Hulu, Amazon Prime, it's on there. Epic's Now as well.
Okay. I got Hulu. You got Hulu, James?
I got Hulu.
Yeah.
Man, we're about to have like the biggest crocodile circle jerk ever. And Rick, he's the pivot
It's not a
man.
crocodile. It's an alligator.
Oh, Well,
Crawl up your ass and die.
well, guys, this has been this week's episode of Slashers and Screamers. So, for the Godfather of Droll James, for the Memphis Maniac Rick, and even for Final World Casey, I am Billy Graves, and we will catch you down the
Do
road.
not seek the treasure.